So like that only molecular weight for the nitrogen. Nitrogen what is 2. So what is the molecular weight? 14. Okay. So 2 into 14 is equal to how much? 28 units. Okay, 28 units. So this is the one. And the next one, unit formula of ionic compounds and formula of unit mass. So we have the ionic compounds and covalent compounds. Na? So in both the things, same thing only. Okay. So for example, sodium chloride does not have a molecular formula because ionic solids do not have the discrete molecules. For example, NaCl, it has the charge na? Na plus Cl minus, ionic compound. Okay. So the constituent particles of sodium chloride are sodium ion and chloride ions. Since it has the charges, we call it as a sodium ion and chloride ion. Because why? In the ionic compounds, it shares and gain the electrons to become a compound and to get the 8 electrons in the valence shell. Okay, so it is a 3-dimensional structure. The unit formula of the sodium chloride. What is the atomic weight of the sodium? 23. It is not atomic number, it is with the atomic weight. It is in the periodic table. Okay, 23. And chlorine is how much? Atomic weight 35.5 units. Okay. So here how much? NaCl. Only one is this. Na is 1, Cl is 1. So 23 plus 35.35 is equal to 58. Okay, is equal to 58.5. Don't forget to keep the small units. Okay. This is the one. Here some questions are there. If the atomic weight of the carbon is 12U, then what will be the molecular weight of the carbon dioxide? So COU. Atomic weight of the carbon is how much? 12. So oxygen atomic weight is how much? 16. So how we have to do? 12 plus oxygens, how many are there? 2 are there. So 2 into 16 is equal to 12 plus 2 into 16 how much? 32. So is equal to all together 44 units. Okay, small u is the unit. So like this you do it everything and write in the notebook. So all the atomic weights you can find in the periodic table. Already once I sent to your WhatsApp when we have the group, that periodic table. Okay, so take the photocopy of the periodic table and do this atomic weights for all this. Okay, everything. What is the molecular weight of hydrogen? So for example H2. Okay, hydrogen is weight how much? 1. So hydrogen, weight of hydrogen na? So 2 into 1 is equal to 2. Like that, no? So if the atomic weight of the nitrogen is 14U, what is the molecular weight of the ammonia? Ammonia formula is what? NH3. So what is the atomic weight for the nitrogen? Like this you have to do. First you write NH3. Then nitrogen atomic weight is how much? 14U. And hydrogen weight is how much? 1U. So here NH3 is there na? 14 plus 3 hydrogens are there. 3 into 1. So equal to 14 plus 3 into 1, 3 is equal to 17 units. So like this you have to write. Find out and write for all these things. And carbon dioxide, hydrogen means H2, carbon dioxide CO2. Okay, so write it in the science note, keep the heading and complete all these questions. Write in the notebook. Thank you, students. And now we study about the polyatomic ions. Okay, polyatomic ions. So we know that poly means what? Many. Ions na? Sodium chloride. Ions are present in the ionic compounds, losing and gaining electrons. Okay, if there are more ions, for example 2 plus 3 minus, more than 1, if they are there, it will be more than 2. If there are, we call it as a polyatomic ions. So we know that solutions of ionic compounds in water conduct electricity. So ionic compounds can conduct the electricity because it has the charges. In the water it can conduct electricity. In activity 1 of the chemical bonding chapter, we saw the solution of the sodium chloride in water conducts electricity and that it ionizes to give sodium ions and chloride ions. When we keep the salt in the water, so Na plus Cl minus will be divided. Okay, and it conducts the electricity. Okay, conducts electricity. And we repeat the same activity with the solution of sodium nitrate. Okay, so sodium nitrate in water, it too conducts electricity because it also have the charges. On the basis we can say that sodium nitrate is an ionic compound. It has sodium ions similar to sodium chloride. This implies that along with the sodium ions, the solution should also have negatively charged ions. This is NO3 minus, where the nitrogen and 3 oxygen atoms have a sum of negative charge. Such group of clusters carry a fixed charge are known as a polyatomic ions. So polyatomic ions means what? Where the nitrogen and 3 oxygen atoms have some negative charge. Such groups are clusters of atoms that carry a fixed charge as known as a polyatomic ions. For example, NaNO3. So it is separating like Na plus and NO3 minus. So in this NO is only when it is separated, sodium is becoming single. Okay, but one atom. But when we see in the NO3, N is one atom and O is another atom. Okay, 3 oxygen atoms are there. Here 1 nitrogen atom is there, but 2 are forming a compound. So polyatoms. Poly means many atoms. Okay, nitrogen and 3, but both has the charge, negative charge. Okay, so it is the ion, and poly means many atoms, polyatomic ions. But Na is only the sodium, only one atom is there. When it is separated, sodium nitrate to conduct the electricity, when it is mixed with the water, sodium separate, NO3 separate, sodium nitrate. But in the NO3 we have the more than 2 atoms, 3 oxygen 3 atoms and sodium 1 atom. Okay, so this is the one. So this is NO3 negative charge ion, where the nitrogen and 3 oxygen atoms have a sum means total negative charge. Such groups or cluster also groups of atoms like N1 atom, O1 atom, 3 atoms, 4 atoms are as a group that carry a fixed charge. They are carrying a fixed charge of negative charge 1, are known as a polyatomic ions. Underline this point.